Did you get the thickness of those lock rods by any chance?
No, I didn't. I didn't grab the thing, did I?
I'm gonna cheat you now. As soon as you give it to me, I'll fill it in. So this is part of my job. So I guess it's nice if I can convince the CEO to do some of my work.
There you go. I'll be right back.
You can find them?
Oh, here it is. We are going to be live. We are live, aren't we? I think we are live. One.
Oh, it's 1 inch down. Okay.
Let me get my cans on and get rolling. Hey guys, Theodore, 12:59, very punctual. So guys, we are this week at SecureIt Live. We're doing some measurements of a few things today. Today's reloading day. I've been this morning. I took an hour and building some 6.5 Creedmoor ammunition. We've got the one on the wall, and I've got the Savage 110 Elite has not been fired yet. And I need to get out to the range as soon as it's howling outside, it's snowing, it's cold, and I've got a diesel truck, and my windshield was so iced this morning. Diesels don't warm up quick, and I ran my truck for about 30 minutes. It was so thick out there, it was crazy.
So one nice thing about having a small engine is, mine heats up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know. It's they make auxiliary heaters, and I didn't order them. I didn't get one, wasn't in mine, but diesels do heat up pretty damn slow. All right, guys. So this week at Secure, we got a bunch of stuff we're gonna be talking about. Things that are going on within the company and other items. Now, as always, the purpose of us doing our live show and doing these things is open communication, is dialogue with customers, potential customers. Hell, people don't even like us. Come on the show. I actually had a guy post a pretty snarky comment on one of our videos, and I invited him to come on the show and ask his question because, again, I don't care. Ask me any question you want, and we will give you the best answer that we can come up with. It'll be an honest answer, whether you like it or not. There's a blizzard in Minneapolis as well. Berta, are you in Minneapolis? I have no idea where you are. I'm going to be out in Minneapolis here in March. We're actually the studio for Agents of Change, our show we're doing on Sportsman's Channel. We built the studio in Minneapolis. I do a lot of work there. And yes, sir. Hey, man, I tell you what. When I'm out there, I'll send me an email. Send support or Tom at Secure Tactics. Send me an email, and I'll ping you when we're heading out. And you've been on every single show. If you want, we can grab some lunch and come on and check out the studio. We can, I don't know, figure something out. But it's all about meeting people. So, Stephen, I had you grab, we post a lot of videos. People post a lot of comments. And we had a video that I didn't like the video very much. I didn't like the editing on it, but it had a lot of comments on it that were pretty negative. I thought we'd bring some of those up and talk about them, just to share the information. I think you wrote a few down.
Yep. So the first one is, and forgive me, I'm terrible at reading out loud. What would be interesting? The price it would cost to have your cabinets made in America versus China. Let us know why you chose this route and what makes you better than a company like, and they put Snap-on, but I think they meant SnapSafe.
I don't know. Snap-on is a U.S. company. SnapSafe, I'm not really sure of. Okay, that's a good question. So, and I did type an answer to the person who asked this question. We'd love to make our stuff in America. Now, Durham Manufacturing makes our military cabinets. They're out of Connecticut, out of Durham, Connecticut. It's a big company. They do a lot of metal work, and they turned us down. They do a lot of work for us. They build all of our military stuff, and we said, hey, we'd love you to build this as well. They're not interested. They're operating at capacity. They're operating profitably. They're doing their thing. They don't want the additional work because they don't have the crew to do it. One of the issues facing the whole metal in manufacturing in America, but I know specifically from the metal side of things, the average age of a brake pressman, of a machinist in America is pushing like mid-50s. And there's no kids going into these trades. So I mean, I've got a good friend who owned a very high-end machine shop. She did work for the aerospace industry and for Department of Defense. Very precision work. She sold her company a few years ago because she was looking at her workforce. They were all pushing 60. They were all looking at retiring, and she had no young people coming in. And she said, look, either I sell the company now or in 5 years, I don't have a company. And we see that all over in manufacturing. I see it in metal. That's the world that we kind of live in. But I do think it's affecting a lot of other areas. Now, I've got a local manufacturer who went to the schools with an idea for an internship. It's a small fabrication shop. It's pretty good size. They do a lot of custom work, a lot of small production run, and it's all, laser cutters, press brakes, some stamping equipment. He went to local high schools to try to set up an intern or a training program with high school students that weren't interested in college, learn a skill. The guidance department turned him down. They wouldn't let him do it because the guidance department of the school, their only goal is to make sure every kid in that high school goes to college. Well, it used to be, and I was reading an article the other day, it used to be that college education was worth the money. College was, $8,000, $6,000, $4,000 a year for state school, and getting the degree got you a job that made money. When you look at it now, what kids are graduating with, the cost of college, the amount of debt people are taking on, then the job market, a 4-year degree and you're starting $40,000, $50,000 a year, I'm not sure it's worth it.
My first job out of college after I got my degree, I think I made $9.25 an hour. And the most I got up to working in my field, I think I maybe hit 16 at one job. Like it was just, you couldn't find anything in that field.
No, I know people work at Starbucks or college. There's nothing wrong with Starbucks.
Yeah.
But again, you're going to college for what reason? So my point of the whole thing, though, is people who bitch, why don't you make your stuff in America? I said, well, stop sending your kids to college and send them to trade school. There's nobody out there that can make our stuff. And there's nobody, put it this way, the quality shops aren't looking for any work. They're maxed. And they're maxed because of lack of workforce. So I would love to bring the stuff back. When you look at tariffs, logistics, the cost of shipping now, a shipping container, to move a container across the water has gone up like 400% or 500%. It's not cheaper to do stuff in China or do stuff in Asia. It's just that's the only place you can get stuff made sometimes. So I understand the idea of bringing it back, and we'd love to do it. But right now, I don't see it in the cards. We're going to look at Mexico, at least North America, and getting stuff closer, but just to avoid that shipping across the ocean. It's a pain in the neck. But for those of you who are dead set on making it in America, stop sending your kids to college to get, unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, something that requires a damn degree. But if you're going to college for general studies or you're going for art history, there's nothing wrong with art.
We came close because at one point we had actually debated on having some agiles made here, kind of a separate U.S. made agile, and the cost, I think the price on them would have been, if I recall right, probably 60% higher than what it is now.
Yeah.
And it was to see, if the customers would do it. And right as we were getting close, the steel cost went up and find somebody, which is the big if now.
Yeah, no, and that's what happened in a lot of these cases is, again, there was a great example. That was the guys in Texas.
Yeah.
I think they were in Texas. So we started working with them, and when COVID hit, all of a sudden, steel and plastics supply dries up, and they don't have the capacity to do it now. So we've been trying for a long time, and we've got several solicitations out with companies looking at sources. The other side of it is quality in Asia. Walmart has America convinced that everything out of China or Asia is crap because Walmart beats up the companies over there to make the cheapest crap possible to get the lowest price possible. But you can get quality. I mean, there's more metal bent, there's more welding, there's more fabrication work done in Asia than anywhere else in the world. And they're very experienced. They've been doing it for 4 or 5 generations. If you spend the money, you can get very high quality work. Remember, iPhones, they're all made in Asia, and the quality's pretty damn good. I mean, people bitch about their phones and stuff, but I mean, I don't have a case on this thing. I've dropped it many times. It's still working. So you can get quality. You have to pay for it. It is more expensive, but they are capable of doing it. Would we like to bring everything back to US or North America? Hell yeah, we would. It is a pain in the neck to deal with buying from China, especially, I mean, even in a good conditions, it's a pain in the neck. Right now is exceptionally difficult to do that.
Well, we do get most of our accessories are US made, so, and that's something where, you know, we could probably get it for less cost, but we found a good supplier that we work with, and they're down in Texas as well, and they do good work, and we just lucked out where they're okay with making the small parts, and they've been helping us on some other projects too. So once in a while, you can do pretty good in that. So
yeah, hey, we're getting a couple people commenting on mics. So they're saying they can't hear you. I just changed the attention. Just turn it. Just grab it. You can just horse it around. Grab the actual bottom of the mic. Horse it around. So there you go, like a rock star. That's right. Hey guys, so the mic sound a little better. Give them a 1-2.
How you doing? Is that much better?
Should be. Hey Alex, how's it sounding now, man?
Oh, is Alex on there?
Alex is on there. Alex is our go-to.
He should be working. What's he doing?
I don't know. He's probably typing a note right now. He types very slowly. He's got some issues with that. But hey, guys, so that's the nuts and bolts on us manufacturing. I'd love to do it. If you own a company that can handle our production to our quality standards, reach out. We will we'll absolutely start a dialogue. We'll start talking and start doing stuff. They're still saying your mic is low. I don't know.
Is it my voice? Oh, that's booming right there in my headphones now.
Well, your headphones are, but that's.
How's that? Now I can't even hear myself for you.
I don't know.
There we go.
That's weird. No, it's auto mixing is on. Everything's plugged in. I got meters running. Give me a check.
Check.
Yeah, I show microphones working on both sides. So we'll have to. Theodore Bradley, is there a button? There's a lot of buttons, but it's.
You should have the camera so they can see how many buttons you have.
Yeah, no, we're. I'm good, man. I'm showing. I got audio on all channels. I'm showing a teed up, running really well. We run a Roland VR4 video board, and then I got I'm a musician, home studio, so I've got a PreSonus tube preamp. I mean, it's pretty high end audio gear. But all right, let's just hey, we'll do the best we can. No, it's weird. All right. So anyhow, we'll do best. What's the next question we have?
The next question is, and forgive me, I'm going to kind of read this a little funky, but to be fair, you should have pulled all of those long guns out and put them in your product. I don't see it as a storage savings, but rather taking up more space.
I remember that comment, and it wasn't written. I know what he meant to say. When you get typing and things get kind of sideways. So it sounds like you're coming through on my mic. So that's just tap your mic.
I can hear that.
Yeah, I know. We're hammered. So weirdness. All right. So the question that's brought up really is, you're only storing. This was an Agile cabinet. You're only storing 6 guns. Why would I want that? Well, because that's what fits. We bring a what we bring to the table is military style weapon storage, firearm storage, one row, one gun. It's, Liberty or Stack, any of the companies put out a safe. They say it holds 30 guns. Well, we all know it doesn't. It doesn't even make half the quantity. If you're using AR platform or anything with optics on it, you're not even at half the stated capacity. And at that point, the guns are all packed in. If you got a bunch of old guns that you really don't care about, but you just want to keep them locked, pack them in a safe. Hey, that's great. But if these are guns that you're using for the range, for competition, for hunting, store them in a manner that shows some respect for the firearms. Our system we hold 6 guns in 18 inches because 2 7/8 on barrel center is the optimal spacing for firearms. It takes into account lights, optics, everything you want to do associate with a firearm, yet still stores it in a way where it's not banging into everything. One arm, one gun. You open a door, you're safe with one arm. You remove a gun with one arm. You close it with one arm. You're never digging through, setting stuff on the floor. It's not about how much you can pack in there. We look at it as respect for firearms. Respect doesn't end when you close the door. That's a statement that I used to make years ago, and we don't talk about that as much as we used to. But that's at the end of the day. When you close the door, you're safe. Are you still respecting those firearms? In a traditional gun safe, I'm gonna say no. It's just a packed mess of crap. With our system, and it's the exact same system that's used throughout the U.S. military. The guns are stored in a manner where they'll perform perfectly every time you use them.
I remember way before I found out about this company, I had a competitor product, and all my scoped rifles, I actually had to lean them sideways in it because it wouldn't fit in there with a scope on it. And a lot of them with their fixed areas, my shorter rifles wouldn't fit at all. Is my sound coming through now?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, the meters say everything is working. If I turn off, try it again.
How's that?
I turned off the auto mix feature and just now it's.
Do I have to come over? We can share a mic.
I mean, you're peaking. You're blowing. We're getting red lights. We're pegging the meters. How's the tattoo design coming along? That's funny. Yeah, I got to get moving on that. Alex has done some work. I've got a few things I've been playing with. Getting a little pushback from some family members about what I should and shouldn't do. So I think we're getting closer. And I got to have this done. I want to have this done probably. I know by the time you get an appointment, also by the end of March. We'll say. So we'll have this figured out. And we're going to leave that one as a in the works. But
just one? You can get multiple, so you can get something cool. Get one that says, "I love my wife." Your wife's not going to complain about that one. I don't think.
I know. There's Berto. You get a tattoo for a gun, one arm, one gun. That's actually pretty good. That's I'll make note of that. I'm not sure that's going to be in the running. That is actually pretty good. So what else we have? Any other? Do we have one more question? I know there was.
Yep, we got one more. All right, let's see. Sure is pushing how neat and organized inside is, but no mention how difficult it is to open from a thief or the thickness of the locking bars, thickness of the doors. I thought that was the concept of a safe.
Okay.
How hard it is to break into.
Well, here's the deal. And guys, we're going to be doing a live show. I'll give you a sneak peek at this thing. We will be doing a live episode. I'm going to set up out in the warehouse, and we're going to be opening up a couple of safes, Tom style, just to show people how easy it is. Our safes, depending on the safe, ranges from like 5/8 to an inch to a little over an inch, hardened steel bolts. Lock rods on the fast box are much smaller because it's a smaller product, but they are hardened steel. The issue is not how secure is the door of a safe. And I don't care what kind of safe. You got a plate steel, all the bullshit they put into a safe door. I'm going to show you guys how I would open a safe. I'm going to simply ignore the door. I'm going to cut a hole in the side of the safe. It's going to take me about 15 seconds. That's it to open. It'll be a brand name. You'll recognize the name, big safe, not cutting any corners. And the fact is, modern power tools cut safes in half like butter. They make saw blades that are designed to cut up to half-inch thick rebar. Think about how big that is on a job site with electric saw all day long on cement when they're doing contracting work pouring cement. And think about half-inch rebar. Then think about a gun safe, even a gun safe with plate steel, quarter-inch plate. Well, quarter-inch plate is nothing compared to 1 inch. And these saws go through it, whether if it's a 12 gauge, 10 gauge, or quarter-inch, it nominally slows down the blade. So, again, bringing that military style to it, smaller modular safes. The idea isn't if a thief's in your house with time, he's going to open up a safe. He knows what he's doing. He's got the right tools. And we're talking, you can do cordless. A DeWalt cordless saw with the right blade cuts a 12-inch by 12-inch hole in the side of a safe in 20, 30 seconds. It's very, very fast. So we make the safe secure enough to keep out your, what do you call it, targets of opportunity, or your, keep prying fingers out, but you're not going to stop a determined and experienced thief if they're in your home and they have time.
Yeah, it's for smash and grab, not cat burglars.
You're absolutely right. And however, when you look at our principles of decentralized storage, smaller modular cabinets located in areas where thieves don't look gives you a real security advantage. In my home, I've got guns located throughout my homes. They're all locked. You can come to my house for a party, hang out. You'd never know that I have any guns in the house. You'd never know it because they're located in areas you're not going to look, you're not going to see casually. Yet I'm never more than 3 to 5 seconds from a gun.
When I did jury duty a few years ago, we had a couple cases where people had broken into things, and they were not masterminds. These were not pure, they were professional criminals, but they were not masterminds at all. So, and hearing how they got caught, you could definitely tell they hadn't thought it through in most cases. So I think for most common thieves, they're not coming prepared to go into something like that.
Yeah, it's we get this all the time, and that's being brought into the safe industry. You see their marketing documents, and they've got the big safe with the incredible paint job sitting next to the fireplace, like that's going to be secure. It's crazy. Guy breaks into that house, boom, advertising. There's where all the valuables are. You're gonna have that safe open in minutes. An inexperienced, dumb druggie looking for some quick drugs, when they hit your home, they go master bathroom, master bedroom. They're looking for drugs and cash, and they're gonna be gone. Boom. You don't have a lot to worry about. But I just saw there was I think it was Liberty. I saw him did an ad posted on social media to win a custom painted safe. And all these people are talking about, oh, what they're going to do for custom. I'm just kind of laughing. Why advertise? Why brag, about what you've got in your home? You wouldn't do that with the government, so why do it with a thief? Again, we're gonna harp on this all the time. Eventually, not just the people who follow us, but the world is going to get it. Small, modular, fast access, located in areas where thieves don't look, just makes more sense. It just does.
I kind of want to enter that contest, and if I win, give them some crazy paint job like Care Bears or something really bizarre to make paint on it.
No, what we could do is let's enter, and then we'll do the paint job we want is a connect the dots thing. We'll get a pattern in the safe, and then I'll cut the pattern.
I like it.
Into the safe. That would be an issue. So is there anything else going on custom, like tech support wise? Is there any buzz happening?
It's kind of the same old thing. I've had my whatever product for a couple of years now. I've never changed the battery. All of a sudden the lock doesn't work. What should I do? Change your battery. So the big thing is, if it's not working, don't force on it, because it's, in some cases, they're designed for parts to break if you force on it, so a thief can't get into it. Just change the battery, try that out, use a brand new Energizer alkaline. That is the main thing.
Yeah, it's funny how it always comes down to gun safes and smoke detectors. Obviously, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I change the batteries on all mine every year, because if you don't, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, that thing starts chirping. And I've got Agiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 6 Agiles in the house, and I don't open them. Some I don't open very often at all. The batteries last. I mean, I think they've gone years on some of them. I go in and replace them, but it's not very often.
Yeah, that's the question I get sometimes. How long will a battery last? That, depending on the battery, depending on your usage, and how old the battery is. And, I get a lot of customers that will try a battery that's been sitting in the drawer for years, and they're like, "Put a brand new battery in." No, you put an old one that's been sitting there. You got to try a brand new one. But I think 2.5 years is the longest I've had a customer tell me the battery lasted. So I was actually pretty impressed with that.
Battery. If you have a battery sitting in drawers for a long time, put them on a good voltmeter. You're going to see a 9-volt battery puts out 7. And
some of them, it's weird. It'll actually say 9, but the amps are low, so it won't run the lock. So it's kind of weird with that. I've had lots of customers like, "Hey, I put it on a voltmeter, it's good." I'm like, well, that's only half the story. You gotta, if it doesn't have the amps to push open that lock, it's still not going to work good.
Yeah. We got another question coming in from Mr. Lee. Any plans for a small lockbox for handguns? Funny you mentioned that. This week at SecureIt, we have our handgun storage solution is working through. We've got functional prototypes. We're working through the process. It will be launched this year. It's a monumental undertaking because we're doing something that's never been done, really. And I'm not going to share a whole lot about it yet, but we will have a handgun storage solution launched this year. And we think it's going to be, it's going to be a cool product. It's just going to make sense for a lot of people what this thing can do. So yes, we're working on it very hard, and we've got that coming out. We've also are working on a AR-15 fast access one gun solution that the big signs here always say innovate and simplify. This is a one gun solution, very fast access, very secret, secure, and very, very simple, which for me is always the thing. It's easy to make things complex. It's hard to make things really simple. And this is a very simple solution. I'm not sure where it is in product development. This was an idea that we looked at and said, wow, this is really cool. It shouldn't be hard to make. Let's just make the damn thing. So it's in prototyping right now. I anticipate we're going to have it for launch. It'll be launched this year, probably fourth quarter. And then the safe lights are POs have been placed, and I don't have the delivery schedule on those, but we'll have the lights in for safes here. I don't know.
It was slightly delayed.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's going to add a few more weeks to it, but it's coming.
Attaboy. We've all been, the whole company's been beating up on poor Ron, who runs product development, about the lights. And we're going to be posting his home phone number and email address later on in the program.
I won't do it to him.
No.
I work for him sometimes, so I bounce between departments. So sometimes I'm one of Ron's minions for helping him.
Absolutely. So other things going on, we are actively building out the marketing department of SecureIt. We've got Chris, you can't spell his last name, Penabianco, as our chief marketing officer. He's been with us now for a week and a half.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, big 2 weeks. And we brought on Emily as PR, branding, and all sorts of marketing wizardry. And we're hiring several more positions in that department, and really going to start driving hard. We got the show coming up this summer on Sportsman's Channel, and we're going to be teaming that up with a big social media, other parts of our campaign. And then we're looking at a little peek under the covers here. We're looking at some at building showrooms in cities in America, just a handful of cities, destination cities, building SecureIt experience showrooms. And it's a lot of work to do it. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of stuff to be figured out. We are a really small company, so some of these things take longer than I wish, but that is some of the stuff that we are working on. Does anybody have any questions? We got people watching, hopefully enjoying the conversation, but this is an open format. I'm working on a solution that will allow viewers to call in and actually talk on the show. That's we're investigating technology for that right now, and then we're looking at a move right now to. This one's a little out there, but I'm going to be publishing I'm getting a second cell phone, publishing the number, which I will answer whenever I'm available, and just to really drive it that the most, America's most accessible CEO. There's nothing better than me talking to customers, talking to the people out there. So we're going to actually put a program in place where anybody can call me. Now, I do travel for business. I am in meetings. I mean, there are things I have to do, but when I'm available, I will always answer the phone. And we're going to try this. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm kind of looking forward to the opportunity to speak directly with customers. I think that's really missing in so much of America, where you've got CEOs and executive teams, and like they use the term ivory towers, but they're not accessible. And when I was early on in our foray into retail, we were strictly a defense contractor. Our first thought was, let's go partner with safe companies, bring our technology to the safe industry. And meeting with those senior teams was pretty eye-opening. It's not what I thought. They're not particularly engaged. In fact, they're not engaged with their customers at all. Several of the people these are America's like 2 largest safe companies, and their senior executive teams, many of them don't own rifles. And nobody owned an AR-15 on one. And they don't communicate with their customers at all. They are, there's an elite executive team with their special handshake in their own bathroom or something. I don't know, but they're missing the point. They're wrapped up in being corporate whiz-bang guys, and they're forgetting that the reason that we do what we do is to make people safer, better prepared. My background, I'm a musician. I was a blue-collar guy. I'm not a white. I'm not a college executive kind of guy. I'm more of a let's have a beer and go bowling guy. But we built this incredible team. We've got this great company, and it's a team effort. Things are going great.
Well, that's something that I think you've missed now that we're all working remote. Is when we used to have customer service in here, we have kind of a main customer service cubicle area that we used to have. It's fairly empty. I think I'm the only one regularly there now. But I remember you running out when you heard something, and you'd actually help out with the customer service and give them help and talk to the customers. So
yeah, it's so you got a couple of questions. It just came in. I want to just, is your small safe good for just a Browning model 1911?
pistol.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean, the new handgun safe we're working on, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we tried.
And then Fastbox, all of our other solutions we have handgun for. Any update on handgun storage solution? I just covered it. Perhaps you just came into the show. Yes, it's tracking along nicely. We've got functional prototypes that we've gone through. We're doing our function tests on and working out some ergonomic issues, and the product will be launched this year. Another great question, and I should bring this one up more often. Why don't you sell in gun stores? We did. When SecureIt first went into retail, we were in bunch of them. Yeah, we were Academy. We did some stuff with Bass Pro briefly, and we were in a bunch of stores. Here's the challenge, and you're gonna love this, because this is reality. Is gun safes are designed to look good empty. Now, when I toured Liberty, I met with those guys, the senior team, boom, boom, boom. And then they gave me a plant tour with a production manager, a guy. He's a plant guy. He's a blue collar guy that now runs a plant. That guy was great, and we talked, and he was talking very openly and frankly. And gun safes are designed to look good empty, because that's how they're sold. When you go to the store, you go to like Bass Pro, or you go to a safe dealer, you go through and look, and you open the door, and you're evaluating the safe based on it being empty, and that's how they design it, and that's how they sell it. Our safes are designed to hold firearms, and they don't look good. In fact, people don't understand them empty. We would have our cabinets in a safe. So we have a safe dealer down in Nashville, and I'm there. I'm watching people looking at safes, and they get to ours, and they open the door, and they look, and they move on. They don't get it, because without showing how Cradle Grid system works, what it actually does for you, between firearms and all the gear this thing can hold, and the flexibility to design a system that works specifically for you or for the end user, it doesn't make sense. Now, the companies that sell safes aren't in a position to fill them with rifles, and that's the challenge. So we've looked at some like really high-end gun shops who say, hey, use our product to store all your guns and sell the product. It's a tough to work out. We're still trying to kind of figure this out, but The solution that we're looking at now, though, is creating an experience center, creating a showroom in a handful of destination cities around America. And then most of them will probably be in like really nice ranges where you can go in shooting, get some training, and go through our system and really evaluate it. But the basic gun shops, our system doesn't sell well because our competitors are designing their product to appeal to you when it's not being used, when it's empty. And we don't do that. We make a product. Our core business is making storage solutions for the U.S. military. We're just wrapping up our Okinawa project. That was an $8 million contract for, I'm thinking 4th ID, but that's Army.
It was
Third Expeditionary, Third Expeditionary Force out of Okinawa. It was a big project with COVID hitting. It was a very difficult project. We're looking at a couple of big projects with the Marine Corps on the East Coast. We've got a big project going in the Middle East right now. So that's our core business, is we build storage solutions for the military, but we take the same thing and offer it to people. It doesn't sell well in stores because it doesn't compare. Unless you know who we are, the casual person walking by doesn't get it. So we decided not to do it. Also, gun stores make 40% margin. Don't forget that. When you buy a gun safe at a store, 40% of the price that you're paying is going to the store. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I buy stuff in Bass Pro all the time. 40% of my purchase, sometimes 50, is going to Bass Pro. But you know what? If I'm buying clothes, if I'm buying gear, it's there. I can look at it, touch it, feel it. It makes sense. I got no problem doing it. But with an investment like a safe, you're spending $2,000, $3,000 at a store for a safe. $1,000 to $1,500 of that is just going to the store. So we go direct from us to the consumer, cut out that middleman. It enables us to sell a product at a more aggressive price. So we're just trying to, our goal is to make sure every gun in America is properly locked as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, my biggest complaint with Bass Pro is that there's not one here. So we are geographically dead center between two of them. So an hour east, we get one, or an hour west, but it's the closest we got.
Yeah, it's
and Cabela's turned into camping, whatever. So
I'm just reading a few of the questions we got down here. Just ordered an Agile 52, two-door frame to upgrade Gen 1. This got a frame to upgrade old Gen 1. This will match my Agile 40. Shout out to Melissa. Oh, that's great. Shout out to Melissa from customer support. That's T-Lee to Melissa, if you're watching, Melissa. Those guys are pretty busy today. But Melissa does amazing. She's really cool. She's a force to be reckoned with in the SecureIt world.
And Alex just helped out somebody who had a problem with a competitor safe, and he sorted it out with him. Not sure what he did, but I know that he got him into it, and I think he looked up the directions for that one and walked him through it. So that's one thing I could bring up. If you have problems with a competitor one and need some ideas from it, hit us up. I don't know all of our competitors' products, but I get more and more familiar with them over the years.
Yeah, it was interesting. We got a call from a guy complaining that the shelf on his, I think it was Liberty. Was it Liberty?
I don't even remember.
Was sagging. Was there anything we could do for it? And it's interesting because if you called up a ABC Safe Company and asked them about a competitor's product, they're probably not going to take the call. But we helped the guy out. Figured out a way to do that. We're also we have a conversion kit to upgrade traditional safes. We're going to be relaunching the product. That was our only retail product in the early days of the retail side of SecureIt. And it's kind of fallen by the wayside because the Agile has become so popular, and the Answer just took off. But we're going to go back and kind of do a relaunch on the conversion kits because they work pretty well. It's a neat product. It converts a traditional safe into our solution. And we've had a lot of success with it. We're just not promoting it that crazy right now. All right, guys, we've been running about hour 20, about 40 minutes, half of that. Does anybody have any other questions, concerns, thoughts, or anything else people want to share right now? Because we're probably going to wrap up and get outside and do some shoveling. The doors are closed in here for light reasons, but last I looked, it was howling and snowing like crazy outside.
Well, supposed to get 50s in a couple of days, so Hopefully they'll be gone soon.
Well, I got to do a show from the warehouse. I'm currently, for people who know, I'm also a kind of a gearhead guy. So a couple of years ago, I built a '68 Corvette. It's a convertible and everything except the body. And the engine had been rebuilt, but new trans, new suspension, every bolt's been replaced, it's been upgraded, kind of a resto mod. And that's my summer driver. Right now, I am building a 1966 Ford Falcon. Really boxy square car. It was my first car when I was a kid. And years ago, I drove one for 8 years, sold it. Well, I found one, bought it. It needs a lot of work, but I'm building a 289 stroked out motor to 331. I'm going to do 4-link rear suspension, upgraded front suspension. It's a boxy car. I think we're going to wrap it in a charcoal gray and just put Fastbox on the side, on the back quarter panel, and call it the SecureIt Fastbox because it is a box. So I like it. At some point, I'm going to get the system set so we can do a show out there and kind of walk through some of the projects because there's a lot of neat stuff that goes on out there. And I try to get out to the warehouse, well, about an hour. I'd like to get an hour a day in out there. Usually it's 2 hours one day and I skip a day, but
That's kind of your Zen time.
yeah, that's they all know it's like, let Tom go out in the shop. He's going to drive us nuts. Kind of clear my head working on stuff. But I got some rust in the car. I came across some bad Bondo work, so I got to weld some panels, some patch panels into it. It's going to delay me. But the car should be on the road. I'm targeting May, late May. It'll be a 5-speed, just badass little screamer of a '66 Ford Falcon. So guys, we're going to be wrapping up. Can you give us a ballpark price on the handgun storage solution and what capacity? No. Hell no. No. You know what? We're working on that. It'll be under $300 is what we're targeting. How much under? I'm hoping. I'd love to do it for a hell of a lot under that. It's just there's a lot of variables right now. This is a one-gun solution. This is not a multi-gun. So this is a very fast access handgun solution that offers some capabilities that nobody else can do. I'm not going to go much more into it than that. Once I've got the actual first article prototypes, we're going to start showing more. We are going to do a pre-launch sale for all of the people who follow us, track us. Once we've got the first article prototypes, meaning that's the prototype of the actual product, and that'll be at a significant discount to everybody that's been so patient. So I got to talk to Ron. I'd like to launch that program in a couple of months. I just don't know. Again, the prototyping and this stuff, there's a lot involved in what we're trying to do. Since we're designing and building something that's not been built before, everything we're doing requires tooling, requires injection molding, requires steel. It just takes time. And since we haven't done it before, it's not like we can say, let's copy this product. We're going to need to make all these parts. Boom, boom, boom. 4 months later, we've got it. No, everything we're doing is custom. So it's taking us some time. And we're not a huge company. I don't have a team of 30 engineers that can jam through and design these products. It's product development is Ron, in fact, it's 2 people. And they also cover quality control. And it's just, we're a small company of people that are doing a lot of different things, but we are jamming forward on it. It is our #1 priority for product this year is to get that thing launched. We're delayed a year because I made a mistake on me and I pursued something. We had a design idea and we went into development to develop it, and we developed the easiest part first. That took us quite a bit of time. We got it perfect. Then we went to the second part of it and realized that my idea was flawed and it was impossible to do.
I liked it if it would have worked though. It was a cool idea.
Well, it's the lesson learned though is when you're developing a new product is take the hardest part, the thing you absolutely don't know how to do, and you got to develop that first. And that's a lesson that we learned. We spent a lot of time developing the easy parts and getting everything working. And what we thought would be easy to do ended up being impossible. We could not. I'm not going to go into the details if I don't want to spill any candy here in the lobby. But you know what? Fail fast, learn fast. That's what we try to do, and then it works for us. So, guys, we're going to be wrapping this thing up. Does anybody have any last questions or Kilted Dragon. I love the names.
Sounds like somebody I would be friends with.
The fast box is what you are talking. Oh, he must be talking about the people. I have an idea for safe goods under the bed, next to the floor. Yes, we have the fast box. That was our very first locking box solution. Very popular. It's really popular with law enforcement. In fact, they buy them by the hundreds for squad cars and for locker room uses. It can go vertical. It can go under your bed. It can hold 2 rifles, vertical plus handguns under your bed. It holds an AR-15 with a magazine, CQB optic, extra mags. It's a pretty slick little product, very affordable. So guys, I think we're going to punch out to the big camera. We're going to do some triage. Are the mics working now?
Oh, am I off again?
I don't know. Just rub the thing. Yeah, I know. Are you guys getting that? Is that working? Oh, if the bed itself is on the floor.
Well, then you can't fit it under there. So.
Well, yeah, it's tough because the fast box, a metal box, it's got to fit under your bed.
And so I should know this offhand. I believe it's 6 1/4 inches. Actually,
Yeah.
I got the cheat sheet right here. It needs 6 3/4 inch space at least. So usually that works out to the standard bed frames that you get with them, the metal ones. Those are just about perfect. If it's on a really shaggy carpet, you will find that the bed frame kind of sits on the box a little bit because the carpet's pushing up the box. But on a low pile carpet or a hard floor, it's almost perfect. Trying to think. Ooh, that just changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm playing
I do
with it.
have the adjustable feet on the bottom, but I have them screwed in all the way on mine.
Crazy. Says Steven is still off. That's, it's weird. We're going to do some work here because it may be the board because I've got,
Well, I've always.
this is our audio digital system. Everything's lit up. All the inputs, outputs are all showing. And yeah, weird. Steven or Steven? Yes, it is Steven.
I will answer to almost anything.
Yes, it's PH. Stefan.
That's how I can tell if the telemarketer is from the US or someplace else. Depends on if I get Steven or Stefan, Stephanie, or whatever other crazy things they try calling me.
Yeah, it's really weird that this mic, that we're not getting output. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, the mics are working because I got a meter on each mic and they're both pegging right where they're supposed to be. But you know what? That's our problem. We'll deal with it. All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping up and getting some shit done. You guys, I don't know what you guys are doing for the weekend, but I got a little party I'm going to tomorrow, I think, and it should be fun. Yeah, I'm sure it's trying to do anything else we got to cover.
Yeah, if anybody out there is a sound engineer, we may have a
Stop.
opening here soon. So
Stop. Oh, so we're going to be doing the live show out. I'm going to be cutting the safe in half live in a couple 3 weeks, I think. We're going to be advertising that when it's coming up. Got some other people getting on the show as guests, and then yeah, there's a lot of interesting things going on at the company. You're going to be seeing stuff kind of flying out of here over the next several months. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining. We're going to sign off, and you guys have a great weekend, and we will be live next Friday at 1 o'clock. All right, guys, bye-bye.
have a good weekend.